George Eliot once wrote, "It's never too late to be what you could have been." And me being in college at 44 is proof that that statement is true. Hi everyone, my name is Jody Bro, and I'm currently a sophomore at Fletcher Technical Community College. It's been a long journey, but I'd like to tell you how I got to this point in my life and what made me decide to go back to college after all these years. I graduated from South Terrebonne High School in 1992. I was 17 years old and I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life. I had taken college prep courses in high school, so I decided what the heck, I'd give college a try. I enrolled at Nicholls State University, where I was majoring in secondary education. While in college, I was working part-time at an insurance agency. The owner of that agency offered me a full-time position with a salary that was more than the starting pay for a teacher in 1992. So it wasn't very long before I said goodbye to college and hello to my new career. While at the agency, I got married, and a few years later, we had the first of our 2 children. We had decided that once we had children, I would stay home with them, which was the perfect opportunity to watch them grow and go on adventures such as camping, which we still enjoy to do as a family today. Once my son started school and my daughter was enrolled in a private pre-K program, I was offered a job to work at that pre-K program where my daughter went to school. I did that for years until I decided to work as a paraprofessional in our local school district. I was hired to be a family literacy paraprofessional at the adult education school. I would work with the children whose parents were enrolled in school that were coming back to get their GED. A year later, I was transferred to a school closer to my home. I was able to work in the pre-K program. I absolutely fell in love with it. I was often told that I should consider going back to school, that I would make an awesome teacher. But with 2 kids with so many activities of their own, it seemed impossible. So I just put it on the back burner. Due to budget cuts, I was transferred schools again, and then I was able to work in the pre-K program. 2 years after being at that school, I was voted Support Personnel of the Year. I was absolutely honored to be chosen for that position because I hadn't been at that school very long. It was at that point that my principal came to me and said we needed to talk about me going back to school. She sat me down and she told me that I had a knack for teaching and the kids absolutely loved me, and that I was doing a disservice by not being a teacher. I thought long and hard about it, pinched my nose, and decided to just jump in. So here I am in speech 1200, going back to college at 44 years old. The plan is for me to get my bachelor's degree, teach as a practitioner, and then work toward my certification as I'm teaching. What I've learned through this experience is that taking the first step is the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. 10 years ago, if you would have told me that I would be going back to school, I would have thought you were crazy. But I've also learned that you should always do the hard thing that terrifies you, because going back to school absolutely terrified me. It's not easy juggling a family, a full-time job, and a full-time school schedule. But in the end, it'll be worth it, because my education is something that no one can ever take away from me. Thank you.